For this lesson, we are going to be looking at the distributive property. So the distributive property is to multiply a sum or difference by a number. You multiply each number in the parentheses by the number outside the parentheses. So essentially, if I said I was going to distribute candy in this classroom, it would not be fair if I only distributed it to half the room and not the other half. So I would need to distribute fairly. That is what this means. We are taking this number on the outside and we are making sure that we are applying that multiplication, not just to the first, but to the second number. Same thing if it's subtraction. We're taking this number on the outside and we are applying it not just to the first, but to the second number. So let's look at number 1. We have 4 times the quantity 3x plus 6. Normally in order of operations we would do parentheses first, but these can't be combined. They're not like terms. So that is when we need to distribute. So we are taking this number on the outside and we are distributing it to both terms on the inside. So I'm doing 4 times my first term of 3x plus I'm also taking the 4 and multiplying it by my second term of 6. And now I'm just simplifying. 4 times 3x is 12x plus 4 times 6 is 24. And this is as simplified as we can get. This does not equal 36x. That is not accurate. These aren't like terms. They can't be combined. It stays as 12x plus 24. Okay, number 2. We have 5 on the outside. That is the number we are distributing to both terms. 5 times our first term of 12x. We have a subtraction minus 5 times 12y. I'm going to simplify. 5 times 12x is 60x minus 5 times 12y is 60y. These are also not like terms. They can't be combined, so we are leaving it as that. Okay, number 3. The number on the outside we are distributing is -9, and we have to be really careful with that. Okay? When I am distributing here, what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to circle. This is -9. This is positive 3D. This is -7. So I am doing -9 times positive 3D, and I'm doing -9 times -7. -9 times 3D is -27D. -9 times -7 is positive 63. So this just becomes plus 63. And that is our final answer. Number 4, the number on the outside is -11. That is being distributed to both terms. So we're doing -11 times 4c, and we're doing -11. So in this case, I can still look at it as this is negative, this is positive, this is positive. -11 times positive 8. -11 times 4c is -44c. -11 times 8 is -88. So instead of doing plus -88, I can just write this as -88. This is the most simplified. Number 5 is a little weird looking. There's no number, but there is a negative. Technically, that would be -1. And this is important because this is where people start making mistakes. This negative has to be applied to both terms on the inside. So I could actually jump straight to my answer. I'm just applying, we have a negative being applied to positive 8b and positive 18. So -1 times 8b is going to be -8b. negative 1 times positive 18 is negative 18. So I could technically do plus negative 18, but the most simplified would just be to write negative 8b minus 18. Okay, same thing for number 2. Our number on the outside, number 6, the number on the outside is 2. I'm going to go straight from my problem to my answer. We're doing a positive 2. We have a negative 3xy. We have a negative 7x. So I'm doing 2 times negative 3xy. Well, 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, so negative 6xy. And we are going to do 2 times negative 7x, which is negative 14x. So negative 6xy minus 14x. Number 7, the number we are distributing is negative 12. It's being distributed to positive r and to negative 3s. We can go straight from here to our answer. Negative 12 times positive r is just negative 12r. Negative 12 times negative 3s. Negative 12 times negative 3 is positive 36s. This is simplified. They can't be combined any further. And again, I'm going to jump straight from the problem to the answer. We have positive 3x times positive 5x and a negative 5. So the number we are distributing is the 3x. A little bit different because we have a variable here. So when I am multiplying, 3 times 5 is 15. X times x being multiplied by itself twice, is x squared. And then positive 3x times negative 5. Well, positive 3 times negative 5 is negative 15x. These also can't be combined because they are not the same exact variable. So it stays as is. Okay, 2 more like this, and then we'll look at some fraction problems. So the number on the outside that I'm distributing is negative 3d, being distributed to positive 12d and negative c. So negative 3d times positive 12d, negative 3 times 12 is negative 36. D times d is d squared. Negative 3d times negative 3c. Well, negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. And then d times c, we can't really combine those variables. We're just going to write them next to each other, and I'm going to do it alphabetically. So c, d. If you wrote it as dc, that's technically the same thing. Number 10, we've got decimals. Don't be afraid of that. You can work with it the same way. The number we're distributing is negative 3.5 to a positive 7x and a negative 2. Negative 3.5 times 7. Well, if you need to do the multiplication, you can. 5 times 7 is 35. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 3 is 24. So 24.5, and it's negative. And negative 3.5 times negative 2. Well, negative times negative is a positive. 3.5 times 2 is 7. And let's look at 2 more that are fraction problems. Same rule applies. It's just that we are multiplying by a fraction. I think in this instance, I know for some of these I've been jumping straight from the problem to the answer. When you have fractions, it's probably good to show that middle step. So we have a positive 1/3 times positive 4x. So 1/3 times 4x, and I'm just writing it over 1. Plus, we have positive times positive, which is a positive. 1/3 times 2. We're doing 1/3 times 2. So to simplify, I can't simplify my diagonals. 1 times 4 is 4. 3 times 1 is 3. So 4/3 x. Over here I can't simplify. So 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 1 is 3. So 4/3 x plus 2/3. Again, even though they have common denominators, they can't be combined because this has x and this does not. Last one, the number we are distributing is -2/5. First distributing that to a positive 15m. So -2/5 times 15, I'm going to write it as 15 over 1m. And then we have a -2/5 times negative, this is technically -1n, right? If we want to write it as -1 over 1, we can. To simplify here, the 5 and the 15, they divide by 5. This becomes 1, this becomes 3. So when I'm multiplying, it's -2 times 3, which is -6 over 1m. And here we have -2 times -1 is +2 over 5 times 1, 5n. Since it's positive, we are adding. I could also look at this, -6 over 1 is just -6m plus 2/5 n.